We're going to be June 12th. We'll be in Singapore. I never said it goes in one meeting. I think it's going to be a process. But the relationships are building. I look forward to the day when I can take the sanctions off of North Korea. I don't even want to use the term maximum pressure anymore because I don't want to use that term. Because we're getting along, you see the relationship. We did discuss that, the ending of the Korean War. Can you believe that we're talking about the ending of the Korean War? A letter was given to me by Kim Jong Un, and that letter was a very nice letter. Oh, would you like to see what was in that letter? I haven't opened it. I didn't open it in front of the director. I said, would you want me to open it? He said, you can read it later. I may be in for a big surprise, folks.
Oh, okay. Let's get reaction from Guy Benson, townhall.com political editor and Fox News contributor. Howie Kurtz is here tonight, Fox News media analyst, and Zach Pecanis, former senior Democratic National Committee advisor and former senior campaign aide to Hillary Clinton. There was a lot in that soundbite that we just put together from today. The potential end of the Korean War, the potential for denuclearization, a thaw between these two countries. A lot happened, Guy, in that meeting this afternoon.
It did, and it seems like that cancellation that you referenced, where it was off for a couple days, was maybe a good, healthy reality check for everyone involved, including at the White House, because I think there was some triumphalism and a bit too much excitement and optimism flying around. And then there was a reminder that this is actually a very difficult process with a really terrible regime with a horrible history. And the tone that we've seen from the president and the White House ever since has been more measured, in my view, more realistic. And it seems like some of the actual diplomatic groundwork is starting to happen for this June the 12th meeting. So that may have been a pivot point in this process, and one that turns out to be good.
We will see, as the president likes to say. Zach, a lot of tittering and snickering. That Nancy Pelosi soundbite was just one of the examples. So what are folks on the Democratic side saying about it now?
Look, I mean, I think this is great. I think that diplomacy is far superior to war. But I think that everyone should be sounding a note of caution that was expressed by the Republican leader today. You know, Donald Trump seems very eager to get a deal. And so we want to make sure that in his eagerness, he is not accepting something that does not meet the standard that he himself and his administration have laid out, which is verifiable, complete, irreversible denuclearization, along with a verification regime that is stronger than the Iran deal and that goes long into the future. If he comes back from this June 12th summit and does not have an agreement like that, if it just comes back with more excuses or a symbolic end to the Korean War.
Well, he said today, though, Zach, to be fair, that he expects there will be several meetings. And, you know, we remember Reagan and Gorbachev and Glasnost, you know, that it took several meetings.
No,
so
he's
saying
already
this is
making
step
excuses.
number one.
No, he's already making excuses, and I think this is something we need to look out for.
You think that's fair, Zach?
No, I absolutely. Look, we're talking about somebody who has said and that he is the great deal maker.
So do you hope, Zach, hold on, do you hope that he comes home with a deal that promises the things that you just talked about?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Right. And I think that he owes it to the
So why is it so
American
difficult
people.
for both sides to be positive and sort of cheering this process on in the hopes that it's a very good thing for the people of North Korea and South Korea and Japan, rather than knocking it down at every chance you get?
No, we are thrilled about it, but people are saying that the meeting itself is some sort of accomplishment when the regime has been asking for a meeting at this level.
The president just said it's step number one.
The meeting at this level has been asked for by the regime for years. Accepting this meeting is not some sort of achievement. It's a concession to the Kim regime.
But look, there's also a difference between what you just said, which is excuse-making, and expectations management. I think this is more the latter, and that's appropriate.
Yeah. Howie?
Yeah, we can't criticize the president for making excuses for a meeting that hasn't even begun. And by the way, Donald Trump is a master showman, so you had cameras trained on the White House for hours today, the letter being delivered, what was in the letter. And when he did cancel the meeting, there was all of this criticism about, oh, he's just throwing a temper tantrum, this was impulsive. What he did was he got Kim back to the negotiating table. And even in that breakup letter, he did say, you know, call me, write me, text me.
In less than 24 hours, we should point out. I mean, in less than 24 hours, they were saying, actually, we would like to come talk to you, and we do want to have a meeting.
Yeah, and all the criticism about the president wanted this summit so badly that he was going to make sweeping concessions. Actually, what we learned through these negotiating tactics and even the cancellation is that Kim really needs the meeting more, and he's the one who seem to come back
I
forcefully.
look forward to the deal.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch this play out. The president was enjoying the back and forth today with the press, as he often does. And as he was walking away, he got asked about NAFTA. And here's what he said about that.
All of these countries, including the European Union, they charge 5 times the tariff. We don't charge tariffs, essentially. They charge 5 times what we charge for tariffs. And I believe in the word reciprocal. You're going to charge 5 times, we're going to charge 5 times. That hasn't been done. No other president ever brought it up. And it's going to be done now.
So this is fascinating, and it got a lot of response from our partners. This from Emmanuel Macron, who we just saw that great buddy meeting at the White House with. His response was a little bit frosty, and in fact, he said economic nationalism leads to war. That is exactly what happened in the 1930s. And then this from our northern neighbor, Justin Trudeau. Watch.
The idea that our soldiers who had fought and died together on the beaches of World War II, in the mountains of Afghanistan, and have stood shoulder to shoulder in some of the most difficult places in the world, that are always there for each other, somehow this is insulting to them. The idea that we are somehow a national security threat to the United States is quite frankly insulting and unacceptable.
Guy, what do you think?
Yeah, because the excuse that the Trump administration's making is using this national security exception to justify the tariffs that they're slapping on the Canadians. Look, this is a terrible, terrible idea. Trade wars are bad for everyone involved. They are lose-lose propositions, as I've said on this show before, because it happens to be true. I hope people go home and go on YouTube and watch Milton Friedman on this, because he's really smart. The thing that's also, to me, so frustrating about this, Martha, is we had such an amazing jobs report today. The economy is booming under Trump policies.
But Guy, the market didn't even blink.
Yeah, well, the market is different than the broader economy. And when you cost American jobs through retaliation, because we're going to see retaliation, our allies have promised it, even if you want to grant that, let's say, China is a currency manipulator and a bad trade partner, we're in the process of negotiating with the Chinese. Why would you target our allies in the EU and Canada and Mexico?
I mean, President Trump would
here?
say because these countries, charge 5 times to us what we charge to bring their goods into our country. And I think, let me just, I think when you look at this, Zach, and let me get your thought on this, what he's trying to do is push the ball a little bit, just a little bit down the lane to, if he gets a little bit back, a little bit better deal, I think that's probably a starting point that he might be interested in.
Well, look, they started this segment talking about this may start a war. I think the war that Donald Trump needs to worry about is the war within his own party. We have Republicans that are screaming about this, like Paul Ryan, Rep. Kevin Brady, Senator Alexander, Senator Toomey, Senator Ben Sasse. These are all that have come out and said this is a terrible idea. And the reason is that these policies are going to hurt Trump voters. We're talking about auto jobs, farm jobs, textile jobs. These are the people that are going to get hurt by the policies that Donald Trump is pushing through.
So, Howie, what do you think? Wise move or a big mistake for President Trump?
What the Washington establishment fails to understand about this unconventional president is that when he makes these very aggressive moves, even against our allies, it is part of his negotiating style. It's like an opening bid. He did this in real estate. Granted, it's much harder to do it on the world stage. In the end, I predict he will back off to some degree. He'll declare victory. There won't be a trade war. But meanwhile, as you say, he's moving the ball. Because if you take a very rough position, even with your friends, that gives you room to ultimately make a deal.
And then Larry Kudlow is saying it's not a trade war, it's a trade discussion. It's an argument among family members. So we'll see. Thanks, you guys. Great conversation. Good to see all of you tonight. Thanks for being here.